All right, good morning, class. This is John checking in. I apologize that it didn't work out for us to hold class in a regular mode today. So I'm just following up with you. There's a few things that I want to put on your radar and just show you a couple things on the Canvas shell so that we don't, time is rather of the evidence as we have our first exam a week from this coming Monday. And of course, we don't have class this coming Monday. So I want to make sure that even though we're missing a day of time together, that we don't miss a day of content. So thus this sort of special screencast. Okay, so I want to point out a couple things for you in the absence of our meeting today. Now this is how it looks. This is how our Canvas shell looks in instructor mode. So when you get to it, don't fret if it doesn't look exactly like this. But I just want to point out a couple things. We're in week 2. I just opened our week 2 module. Didn't realize that it had not been opened, but it's not a huge deal because our chapter review that is actually due at the end of this week was posted in your first week's module, so you've had access to that. So, and I know that some of you have already completed that. But as for week 2 and our work today, you'll notice when you go there, I have just put up some lecturettes or screencasts. These are things I've recorded in the past that might help you with topics like globalization, or in the case of class on Tuesday, democratization. We covered those in class. These are just for your own benefit. If they're useful, you can go back and look at those, but don't feel any pressure there. I also have some optional items that I've posted. If you're feeling really pressed for time, which you might be today, you may not feel like you have time for optional items. But in the event that you're curious or want to delve deeper into some things that we've touched upon earlier this week, feel free to do this. The one non-optional piece that we have going on here right now is the physical processes of Earth. So I'm posting this sort of in lieu of class today. What I would like you to do is participate in a discussion forum. And essentially what I've done is found brief clips that speak to the sort of physical processes of Earth. You know, our world regional geographers pay a lot of attention to human geography and sort of the geography surrounding things like governments and economies, education, gender roles, so on and so forth. But they do also pay attention to the physical geography, just not as much as a true physical geographer would. So today is going to be a fairly physical geography, or I should say our focus is going to be oriented toward the physical processes of Earth. And so these brief clips are designed to sort of engage you maybe a little deeper than your textbook already has, your textbook reading. And you'll see the instructions up here at the top of what I want you to post in your discussion forum. And this will be due by 10:30 tomorrow morning, so before class starts. 200 words is not a particularly long post, but I think it's enough to get you sort of drawn in and engaged on a somewhat deeper level on these important topics. Okay, and then note also I'd like you to do a follow-up post by the time you come to class tomorrow. This is a little bit messed up. I'm sorry. I will edit this. In fact, I'm going to edit it right now. It's kind of odd, but I'll do it right now. Let's say Thursday by 8:30 p.m. So tonight by 8:30 p.m. And the reason for that is that if people are going to respond to their classmates' posts, they're going to need to have those posts take place at a time early enough to allow them something or someone to respond to. Okay, so there's your main task. But there are a couple other things that I want you to be thinking about. Because we only have 4 days next week, and we're going to be taking on a pretty large world region, that of North America, we're going to be starting our new world region tomorrow. So, and this is reflected in the syllabus. And so what I would like you to do in preparation for that is to read your textbook assignment for tomorrow, which would be pages 64 to 78. That's going to be talking primarily about the sort of physical landscape of the world region of North America. And I'm going to start, this will be our first time doing this, but I'm going to start doing a geo quiz. So when you come to class tomorrow, we're going to spend most of the class essentially having you answer questions about the reading. And those questions will be will draw quite heavily from the physical landscape that's discussed in those in that reading assignment. So if you can prepare with that, that would be great. And then finally, I'm just going to, in just a few moments, I'm going to record a screencast that will highlight the microcosm assignment that I've been talking about. I had intended to present part of that today in class, but time being, the fact that we're not meeting, it has created a little bit of an added burden for time. You do not necessarily have to engage that microcosm project right now, but I do want it to be up there, particularly in the background of a 3-day weekend. Some of you might want to use part of this weekend's time to get an early start on your first microcosm. You're going to be doing 2 all told. And I won't comment on any details of that right now because that will be the purpose of my next screencast that I will record here momentarily and place in your in the folder. There's a folder between week 2 and week 3 that will house both the written description of the microcosm assignment and then also my comments as I go through it, my screencast. Okay, so there you have it. Thanks for bearing with me and being patient. I'll look forward to seeing you all tomorrow, and good luck keeping pace in the absence of your instructor today. All right, take care.